Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Jaya Jaya Ram. Jaya Jaya Ram. Om Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedhase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitayah Pataye Namaha. Om Shri Ramachandraya Namaha. Atulita Baladhamam Hemashailaabhadeham Danujavana Krishanum Jnaninamagraganyam Sakalagunanidhanam Vanaranamadhisham Raghupati Priyabhaktam Vatajatannamami. Raghupati Priyabhaktam Vatajatannamami. Om Shri Hanumate Namaha. Om Dhyayami Chinmayanandam Gurudevam Mahamatim Prema Purnam Kriyashilam Sada Lokahite Ratam Kripalum Sundarakaram Samartham Satyadarshinam Vacha Tattva Prakashinya Shoka Moha Vinashinam. Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Om Namah Shri Tulsi Dasa Sadvarishtaya Dhimate Puritam Hridayam Yena Rama Premamrite Name. Om Shri Tulsi Dasaya Namaha. Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ram. Hari Om, a very warm welcome. Maharshi Vishwamitra takes Bhagavan Shri Ramchandra ji and Lakshman ji with due permission and happiness, gladly. Dasharat Maharaj sends Ramchandra ji and Lakshman ji, Vishwamitra ji takes them along. And then we found Bhagavan Shri Ramchandra ji was given all the vidyas, Astra, Shastra, Vidya And there are so many other vidyas. They may not have been enlisted. Naturally, Vishwamitra ji is a great jnani. Therefore, he would have imparted lot of knowledge. Vidyanidhi kahu vidyadinhi. Now, when it is said, Vishwamitra ji gave him all the Shastra, Astra, etc. It does not mean that they gave lot of bows and arrows and all that gadha and sword and etc. physically. It is not required. Those days they were all such pure-minded, so evolved souls. Everything can be done through mantras. Just the chanting of the mantra, not even loudly. Manasika Parayanam. Manasika Japa. When they do that mantra and they say Sudarshana Chakra and lift their hand, there comes Sudarshana Chakra and they can kill the enemy. When they say Nagastra, then that particular arrow which indicates Nagastra with the power of Naga comes to their hand, and with the bow they can shoot the arrow. So thus, it is not that they had to carry everything. Everything was transmitted from the Antakarana of Vishwamitra ji to the Antakarana of Bhagavan Sri Ramchandra ji and Lakshman ji also. Therefore, Vidyanidhi, when it is said, it is mantra vidya. By a mantra, that particular astra can be procured and shot. And then, Jate Lagana Chuda Pipasa, a mantra which can also conquer the demand of Kshud and Pipasa, thirst, hunger and thirst. This is a very important factor which we need to understand also. Kshud means hunger. Acharya Shankara says, Kshudvyadhischa chikitsatam pratidinam bhikshaushadham bhujyatam swadvannam natuyachyatam vidhivashat praptena santushyatam. I keep quoting this very often. Kshud, hunger, is also a vyadhi, disease. And what is a disease? That which brings dis-ease is a disease. That which brings some pain is a disease. Some suffering is a disease. Similarly, hunger also brings dis-ease. When you are hungry, 2 days try, and not required, 1 day is sufficient. For people like us who constantly go on eating, not eating 1 day becomes a huge affair. We start telling them, tomorrow I am fasting. Yesterday I was fasting. And then in the name of fasting, we feast the day before and the day after. We are not talking of that. Kshud is a disease which brings disturbance. Therefore, chikitsetam, Acharya Shankara says, treat it like how you will treat a disease. The moment I feel hunger, I go and it is not that I go on eating 123 items, which we do actually, honestly. Go on eating. Indiscriminately we go on eating. Indisciplined eating habits. Right? And everything to satisfy this 1.5 inch boneless tongue. So when it is said, Chuda pipasa jate lag, meaning what? He conquered the demands of hunger and and thirst. Meaning what? He no more can, it is something like this. If I want, then I can have something to eat. And if I decide not to eat, then hunger will not come to me. It happens in our daily life also. When we are so interested in something, food and thirst will not, especially now these IPL matches, cricket fans you must see. In the stadium it is a different ball game. I am talking of people who see from home. When it is a very serious condition, so that particular phase of the match is going on, Even if coffee or tea is brought by the mother and kept there, we forget that there is a coffee or tea. Even eatables we will forget. Our mind is not on the TV, our mind is in the TV almost. That much we are focused. When that much we are focused, hunger and thirst, actually we don't even recognize. Is it not? But in this case, Ramchandraji was given a particular, a power in the form of a mantra where Ramchandraji and Lakshmanji can conquer hunger and thirst for days together. A sadhaka must have that potential not to think of food and thirst, water when serious sadhana is going on. Otherwise, it will become a disturbance. And that atulita balatanu teja prakasa, it brings what? Atulita tanu. That body becomes bala with ati bala also. It becomes very strong. Ayudha sarva samarpika, meaning what? All the ashtra, shastra, everything. Vishwamitraji hands it over to Ramchandraji, which he had gained out of his tapashakti. He hands it over to Bhagavan Shri Ramchandraji. Why? Now, Ramchandraji, it is not that Ramchandraji doesn't know he is Bhagavan, but then he gives. One is that meaning. Second meaning is, now they are no more required when Bhagavan himself is there. Kahun ko darna. He gives up everything and he engages himself in yajna yagadi karma. Prabhu nija ashamani. Once that particular transferring of all the ashtra, shastra, everything is done, then he brings them to the ashrama, his own ashrama. Kandamoola phala bhojana. We discussed this yesterday. He devoutly gave with lot of, Bhagavan is so beautiful. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati. You don't have to give varieties. Whatever is there you give, but give with love. Kandamoola phala bhojana. He gave him all that Kanda Mula Phala we discussed yesterday. Deenhi Bhagati Hitajani. He gave to Bhagavan Ramchandraji with lot of bhakti. Now, before we proceed, there is one thing which I would like to make a mention here. Earlier we had seen Nama Mahima of Bhagavan, isn't it? We have seen this. Now I am not going to repeat. You have to go back and check in the YouTube. When Rama killed one Deva, this I had mentioned also. Rama killed one Asuri Taraka, but the Mahima of Rama Nama kills all the negativities within our heart. Therefore, Rama Mahima is also very important. And of course, Rama's protection will also remove all the negativity. Taraka is a demon we saw. But what is this demon? She is called Suketu Suta. Suketu Suta means she is a Gandharva Kanya. Because of Shapa, she became Tadaka. And Tadaka actually represents avidya. Tadaka represents ignorance. Tadaka represents adhyaropa. And what is this avidya? Avidya means deha tadatmya bhava. Ignorance of my own true nature has given rise to identification with the Sharira Mana Buddhi. Tadaka represents avidya, ignorance. Non-apprehension of the truth leads to misapprehension of this body, mind and intellect as my own true nature. Therefore, this ignorance have to be removed. Now, how can an ignorance be removed? Now, for example, let us say, I don't know how to prepare upma. Once upon a time I had mentioned in detail with description. Now I will not do that. Let us suppose I don't know how to prepare upma. What should be done to prepare upma very well? I have got ignorance of preparing upma. So I tell, oh, I have to prepare upma, I don't know how to prepare. Swamiji, I will do one thing. Tomorrow morning onwards, I will do 108 japa of upma, 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 upma. 108 times, one full mala. I will do. Then will I be able to do upma? You think you'll be able to do? No. Doing japa of upma will not bring the knowledge of preparation of upma, is it not? Acha. Swamiji, how about doing Rudrabhishekam? Will I come to know how to prepare upma? Not possible. The only antidote of ignorance in preparing upma can only be knowledge of preparing upma. Similarly, the ignorance of my true nature is only through gaining that self-knowledge which will eradicate, eliminate the ignorance of my true self. That is why Tadaka, who is avidya rupa, can be eliminated only by one and only jnanam. Therefore, Ramchandraji eka bana, with only single bana, he killed Tadaka, meaning only with knowledge you can eliminate ignorance. This is the what do you call it as spiritual significance of Tadaka. With that Ekabana he eliminates. And now we, you and I, what are we supposed to do? Our ignorance is the same thing, Dehatmya Bhava. And Dehatmya Bhava will lead to lot of misinterpretation, lot of trouble, lot of painful conditions, suffering, agitations, false hopes. All these are byproduct of ignorance. Therefore, the only way we can get out of this ignorance is through self-knowledge. And that Bhagavan will provide if we can come out of our that shell of I am the body, mind and intellect. When we come out, then Bhagavan also will help us in, when we put our efforts, Bhagavan will pull us out. Then all our negative tendencies, false hopes, false identification, ignorance of our true self, all of them will go away, and they are the actual asuras who are within us. They are all these asuras within us. Asuras are not outside, they are all only symbolic. While telling the story, asuras are told as a symbolic expression, but they are all there within us with our own negativity. Therefore, the Jnana Mahima and Bhakti Mahima both are indicated. Now see, Jnana Mahima is indicated through what? Through that arrow shot at Tadaka. Jnana Mahima. Bhakti Mahima is indicated as how Bhagavan Sri Ramchandra Ji teaches the whole world as to how one should be dedicated and devoted. In this case, Bhagavan Sri Ramchandra Ji goes behind Vishwamitra Ji as a Sishya. So, Shishya Dharma Paripalanam is indicated. Think. Whatever Vishwamitra Ji says, he just obeys. unconditionally. And whatever is told is accepted with reverence, with humility, with all, devotion. Ramchandraji follows. Then, one more very important point. When Vishwamitraji gave Ramchandraji all the Astra Shastra, Ramchandraji is Bhagavan. He already know everything. It is from him all these Astra Shastra and all have come out. Is it not? Without Bhagavan, do they have any value? Do they have any power? Nothing. But when Vishwamitraji gave him everything, the acceptance with humility, acceptance with all tenderness, acceptance with lot of devotion, acceptance with positive attitude, all these indicates what? Shishya dharma paripalanam. Think. So many people now at home also, when parents and all say, I know everything, keep quiet. Like that we tell. When some elderly people tell also, you're so boring, goes on advising. Please note. Such people who say, I know, all the time advising. Such people can never improve. They will never be able to achieve their goals. Therefore, indication here is when the Manasa Vidya is being given, Astra Shastra mantras are being given, Ramchandraji with all devotion accepts with all humility as a Shishya of a Rishi. Therefore, however we may know, whatever knowledge we may have, we have to be humble. Vidya dadati vinayam. If there is no vinamrata, that means we have not gained the knowledge. Simple, direct indication. This Ramchandraji depicts at this juncture. Then what happened? Now, Maricha, they have come to the ashrama. They are sitting there. And having come, why did they bring Ramchandraji and Lakshmanji? Because if they perform yajna yagadi karma, the asuras will come and trouble them. To protect the yajna yagadi karma, Ramchandraji and Lakshmanji were brought. After reaching the ashram, everybody, no sign of any yajna yaga, etc. Everybody is reveling in Ananda Swarupa. Now see, why do we perform yajna yagadi karma? To attain Bhagavan, isn't it? To attain that supreme hood. Brahma Swarupa, Satchidananda Swarupa Atma. To attain that, yajna yagadi karma is performed. Chittasya shuddhayet karma, natu vastupa labdhaye. For chitta shuddhi karma is performed, and with that chitta shuddhi, jnanam is attained, and that jnanam takes us to the supreme hood. When the supreme hood himself has come, Ramchandra himself has come, why will after all these rishis do any puja, yaga, yajna? Everyone were very happy. They sat behind. Therefore, Ramchandraji and Lakshmanji looked at each other. These people called us for something, but no sign of any yajna, yagadi karma. Now, even though, now look at the very beautiful thought here, very important point to achieve. Even though Vishwamitra Maharishi attained Ramchandraji himself under his possession, for loka sangrahartham, dharma paripalanam has to take place. And yajna is the symbol of dharma. Through yajna, dharma paripalanam takes place. Therefore, when yajna is the symbol of dharma, even though Vishwamitra Muni and maybe the group of rishis there and shishyas there, they might have got Rama, but then the loka paripalanam will have to be taken place. Dharma has to be, dharma rakshanam has to take place. Therefore, Ramchandraji thought, something has to be done, otherwise loka kalyanam will get blocked. Therefore, Ramchandraji as though indicates the rishis that they have come for a purpose and they have to go back. Ramchandra and Lakshmanji have to go back to Ayodhya. Isn't it? They have been brought for a purpose. The purpose must be fulfilled and they have to go back. So now in the next Chaupai, Tulsidasi writes, प्रातः कहा मुनि सन रघुराई निर्भय यज्ञ करहूँ तुम जाई होम करन लागे मुनि झारी आप रहे मख की रखवारी सुनि मारी छनि साचर क्रोही लय सहाय धावा मुनि द्रोही बिनु फिर बान राम तेहि मारा सत जो जन गा सागर पारा पावक सरसु बाहु पुनि मारा अनुजनि साचर कटकु संघारा मारी असुर द्विज निर्भयकारी अस्तुति करहि देव मुनि झारी तहाँ पुनि कछुक दिवस रघुराया रहे कीन्हि विप्रन परदाया भगति हेतु बहु कथा पुराना कहे विप्र यद्यपि प्रभु जाना. We will see till here for now. प्रातः कहा मुनि सन रघुराई, रघुराई भगवान श्री रामचंद्र जी. The next morning they called upon the munis. It is not that yesterday only all that this one yajna, everything has taken place. We have fought the war with the Tadaka and things like that. Now I am very tired. 2-3 days I will take rest. No. No rest in sadhana. Param Puja Gurudev would always say, if you rest, you rust. So there is no question of resting. Early morning, Prata Kaha Muni Sana Raghuraya, Ramchandraji, next early morning got up. Their morning is not like our 8 o'clock morning. Their morning is Brahmi Murta, 4 o'clock, our 4 o'clock for example. That is Brahmi Murta. Nirbhaya Yajna Karahu Tumabjai. Hey Rishivarya, hey Acharya, now please go ahead and perform your sacrifices. Without any fear of anybody's attack, you perform the sacrifices. Please note, when he said that, he did not say, I am here to take care of everything, you perform. No. You perform yajna. Without any fear of any attack, you perform yajna. I never comes there. That is the great glory of a humble sevaka. निर्भय यज्ञ करहु तुम जाई होम करन लागे मुनि झारी. Muni Jhari meaning group. Jhari means group of munis. Homa karana lage. They started performing and first of all preparing and started offering oblations in the sacred fire. Apurahe makhaki rakhavari. While Sri Ramchandraji and of course Lakshmanji together were very, very prepared. Physically, mentally, intellectually, in all ways, they were very prepared, alert and vigilant. A sadhaka should also be like that. Should be very alert and vigilant. Otherwise, the Rakshasas of Shadvairinaha, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, can attack at any time. By the time you recognize, you are hit. Very, very careful, very, very careful. Therefore, the mind has to be alert and vigilant. Ramchandraji, Rahe Makhaki Rakawari. They were all ready and they guarded the sacrifice. Sunimari Chanisachara Krohi. When Maricha came to know, heard about this particular sacrifice, he became furious. How dare they perform sacrifices when they know that we are here and we don't like sacrifices? Lai Sahaya Dhava Munidrohi. Munidrohi, the enemies of this Muni or this Rishis, Lai Sahaya Dhava, they immediately rushed towards the place of sacrifice, yajna. Ramchandraji, Binu Paraban. Para means that top, that the metal portion, the sharp metal portion that is fixed to a stick, and then the stick will be kept on that thread of the bow, and then the arrow should be shot. When the arrow is shot, that piercing metal object will pierce, and then the person dies. Ramchandriji, Binu Phiraban, meaning what? Without that piercing metal object, probably he removes it, or he does not have, he has kept one without it. Binu Phiraban, Ramatehi Mara. Ramchandraji hit Maricha without that piercing object. Maybe one of the commentators say, Ramchandraji knew about it. Bhagavan, he knows everything. He knew that Maricha is going to be useful elsewhere. See, Ramchandraji does not look only at that particular occasion. He has got a different target to be achieved. All of us work on short-term goals. When the short-term goal is being targeted, we forget the life's goal. Today we have certain goals. Once we finish that short-term goal, we don't know what to do. Think. 483 million people had one huge goal. I keep telling this. Freedom for the nation from the Britishers. The whole nation gathered together. No difference. No language difference, no regional difference, no cultural difference, nothing. Caste, creed, color, race, no difference came. Everybody came together. Quit India movement. Think. They followed one dilapidated old man, not even clothed properly. But the highest goal was there, freedom for the nation. One midnight the Britishers came, gave this one, ran away. Now we don't have any goals. Look at the condition we are in today. You think we have got freedom? Think. Honestly speaking, we need to get freedom, a second freedom from the selfish, politicians. Why? The nation does not have any goal to achieve. Think. Unless you have a higher goal, we will become wasteful. We will become lazy. We will only have inertia. Therefore, a goal is very much required. Ramchandraji knew Maricha is required at a later date. Therefore, he did not kill Maricha. Without that sharp metal object, he only hit Maricha with a stick. And that power of the stick and the force with which Ramchandraji hit Maricha, he threw him Satajojana ga sagar. Satajojana, yojana, 1 yojana, it's 8 miles. Shatayojana is 800 miles away. He threw him in beyond the ocean. It threw him. Pavakasara subahu puni mara. After hitting Maricha, and Maricha was thrown away, with the next single arrow, he killed Subahu. Once Subahu was eliminated with what? Pavakasara. Pavakasara means Agni Bana. Pavaka means fire. With Agni Astra. He killed Subahu. Subahu was killed. He was not thrown. But Maricha was thrown away. Anuja Nisachara Kataku Sanghara. Anuja, Lakshmanji, while Ramchandraji was engaged with Maricha and Subahu, Lakshmanji, with all his might, cleared the entire army. Kataka Sangara, Nisachara, all the other demons, the army with which they came. Mari Asura Dvija Nirbhayakari, having killed all the Asuras, then the Brahmanas, renounced all kinds of fear. They were so happy, they were so joyful. When Yajna is protected, Dharma is protected. And when Dharma is protected, all dharmic souls are brought in absolute joy. Like that, all the Shishyas and the Guru, both of them were extremely delighted. Astutikarahi Deva Munijhari. Munijhari, the group of Munis and the Devatas, all of them. Astutikarahi. Astuti, remember, it is nothing but Stuti, meaning everybody praised the glory of Bhagavan Shri Ramchandra Ji. Tahapuni Kachuka Divasa Raghuraya. Now see. Once the yaga is over, immediately, it is over, now you can go. No, they did not send them away. All the Muni Jhari, the group of Munis, must have told Vishwamitra Ji, hey Acharya, see, we were all busy in perform the Yajna Yagadi Karma from morning to night. We were all busy in that. We did not have any time to sit and talk to Ramchandra Ji and Lakshman Ji, those two beautiful boys. Sundara Balakari, they are called. Beautiful boys. We want to spend some time with them. We want to have the joy of spending some time with them. Therefore, please make them stay here for some more time. So Vishwamitra Ji called them and told them, please stay for some time. They all want to spend some time. So Ramchandra Ji also thought, why deprive them of the joy? He agreed. Rahe ki ni viprana paradaya. He also graced them, blessed them. All the Brahmanas, he blessed them and they both stayed there for some time. Bhagati hetu bahu katha purana. Bhagati hetu. For the sake of the bhakti which all of them had. Both of them stayed there. And what did the others do? See, Ramchandra Ji and Lakshman Ji, they have come all the way leaving their parents and then they have come here in this young age and they have worked so much for us. They have given so much of their might to and protected the Yajna. In return, we must do something. We also do it in our Laukika Jivana. Return gifts we call. What can Rishi Putras do? Tell? What do they have to give Rajakumaras? So they thought, okay, we will tell you lot of stories from Puranas and Itihasas. Ramchandra Ji is Bhagavan. But then, looking at the enthusiasm, looking at the love, pure love they have, looking at the devotion with which they are speaking, Ramchandra Ji looked at Lakshman Ji and said, yes, we both love stories a lot. Please tell us, we will also enjoy. And all of them said, Kahe biprajadyapi prabhu jana, yadyapi prabhu jana. Even though Bhagavan knows everything, when they told these stories, they sat down and they listened with rapt attention, and even with their facial expressions, with their joy, certain body language, they brought a lot of enthusiasm and inspiration in those Rishi Kumara, and then they also were so happy, delighted. Ramchandraji was delighted. Lakshmanji was also very happy, and lot of stories were shared between them. And the days passed through. The purpose of listening to the story, very, very important. Not many people know about this very important factor. Story is not to just put children to sleep. That is a crude way of understanding the importance of a story. All of us have got lot of dukkha and dosha in us. Yes or no? Don't you agree with me? Don't we have dukkha? We have dukkha. Why? First of all, we are identified with the body, mind and intellect. Sharira, mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara. All the dukkha which are there in the sharira, mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara, all the doshas which are there, we have owned it. Why? We have owned this one first. We have not understood the Supreme. Therefore, whatever dukkha and dosha belongs to the body, mind and intellect now belongs to me. Therefore, the suffering which is enjoined with the body, mind and intellect is also owned by the owner of these gadgets. That is why it is said, pain for the body, suffering is at the mind. So whatever body is suffering, the mind is also suffering. The intellect, because of the wrong identification, is not able to understand that they are all not for the true self. It is for the sharira, mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara. Let it be. It will not leave. Oh, my hand is paining. Oh, my leg is paining. Oh, these people are talking like that. Oh, that person is not talking to me. Oh, this person is avoiding me. That person is coming and troubling me all the time. Oh, yo, Rama, how much of innumerable pain we have in our mind. Tell me. Now, when we are thus suffering with such pain, suffering, disturbances, agitations, so many things, the stories of our Purana and Itihasa bring us certain character, certain role model, and brings in the qualities of those role models to us and makes us feel, hey, this person, in spite of all these things, he is so happy. Example, Ashtavakra, a great Vedantin. He is nothing in his body is straight. Everything is crooked. He can't walk properly. He can't smile properly. Ashtavakra. But the knowledge in him doesn't make him care for the body. He is reveling in joy. Think. What about Krishna and Rama? If you honestly sit down and think, the life of Krishna is disaster, starting from taking birth in the jail. Isn't it? His father has to take him on a basket. He can't even touch the water while going on the river. The river is in spate. Is it not? Until he reached the other end, there was so much of scare. And the water dare not raise its level. Why? Bhagavan is there. His tip is out. The small tender feet is out. If the water touches the tender feet, Bhagavan might get cold. Water dare. Look at the way the beautiful story is being told. Story of Balarama. All these stories. Why? The Pancha Pandavas, Shata Kauravas. Every story depicts something which has got some learning for all of us. Therefore, don't take stories. We also tell stories to the children, isn't it? And then say, therefore, the moral of the story is, and then and children also listen to that the way they listen to the story with half asleep. And by the time you tell the moral, the child has already slept. So moral never goes inside. Even the story doesn't go inside. Therefore, the dukkha and dosha in the personalities remain because we don't know how to grow out of them. Think. Therefore, stories are extremely important. Go through the stories, not once, 2 times, 3 times. Every time you read a story, a new thinking will come out. A new knowledge will come out. A new understanding will come out. Even if it is a story. Need not be always Ramayana and Mahabharata. Even you take Panchatantra stories. You take any stories from, Tinkle, and so many other books are there, children's books. Balvihar book is there, our Chinmaya Mission's book. Like that, so many organizations have got so many books. So many stories are told, so much of information which points out to us our own attitude of dukkha and our own doshas. While thus listening to the story remains in our mind, and when we go on repeating in our mind, rethinking again and again, such thought-provoking stories will eliminate that concept of dukkha, that attitude of dukkha, and all the doshas which bring dukkha in our life, we can also be eradicated by learning, by listening to simple stories. And what to talk of Puranas? Every story in the Purana directs our mind towards a positive thinking, towards a positive goal. Therefore, when the Muni Jhari, when the groups of Munis, when they wanted to talk about the stories of Purana, Bhagavan never said, hey, I don't know, I know everything, go. He never said like that. Both of them, Ramchandraji and Lakshmanji, quietly sat down with all enthusiasm. They listened to all these stories. They were also happy. The Munivaryas also were happy. Of course, what to talk of Acharya, Vishwamitraji. Everybody were reveling in that joy. We will allow them to be so till tomorrow. All right. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai.